Today, we're diving into the life of a woman from a tiny village in India, a woman who lived a life of pretty intense hardship and sickness, but whose legacy would grow to inspire miracles and eventually make her a saint. It's a huge milestone in religious history, right? But, behind a title like that, behind all the official recognition, there's the story of a real person who went through some incredible challenges.
So, to really understand how she became this venerated saint, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Before any miracles were ever reported, there was just a young girl named Anna, and her journey was anything but easy. So let's start right there, with her birth name, Anna Mutatipadathu. This is where it all began, long before the world knew her by any other name.
St. Alphonsa's place in history it's a really big deal. Her becoming a saint wasn't just a personal honor. It was a massive moment for millions of Indian Catholics and for the Syro-Malabar Church, which is one of the oldest Christian communities in the entire world. So, let's picture it. Anna was born back in 1910 in Kerala, down on the tropical Malabar coast of India. This was her world, and right from the very start, her life was completely woven into her community and her faith.
But her early life, it was not easy, not by a long shot. In fact, you could say it was through all these immense personal struggles that her deep, unshakable faith was really forged.
I mean, just try to imagine this for a second. Anna loses her mom when she's just a little kid, a loss that would shape anyone, right? Then she's raised by an aunt who is apparently super strict, and on top of all that, she was often teased by the other kids at school. It was a childhood that sounds pretty marked by loneliness. But here's the thing, there was a powerful counterbalance to all that suffering. While her day-to-day life was tough, her grandmother was like her lifeline, filling her head with these incredible stories of saints and prayers. This wasn't just a way to escape, it was literally the foundation for everything that came next.
And those stories, they planted a seed. Anna started to see a different kind of life for herself, a path that would take her away from a more conventional life and towards something deeply spiritual.
At some point, it just became crystal clear to her. The inspiration she was getting from the lives of these saints wasn't just about feeling better. It was like a blueprint. She felt this undeniable pull to dedicate her own life to her faith and to serving other people. And then it came this really pivotal, kind of mystical moment. The story goes that St. Therese of Lisieux, a saint Anna really looked up to, appeared to her in a vision. And the message was just astonishing, that Anna herself would one day become a saint. You can imagine, that experience just cemented her decision. Making that choice marked a complete transformation. She went and joined the Franciscan Claris congregation, which is a religious order for women, and in doing so, she left behind the girl named Anna and took on a whole new identity. She was now Sister Alphonsa of the Immaculate Conception. And even her new name wasn't random. It had a special meaning. She chose it to honor St. Alphonsus Liguori because the day she entered the convent was his feast day. Every single part of her new life was intentional and just steeped in her faith. But her story doesn't stop when she becomes a nun. Actually, for most of the world, the most incredible part of her story really began after she was gone. And that's the tragic part. Her life, which was full of suffering, was also incredibly short. St. Alphonsa died on July 28, 1946. She was only 35 years old. But her influence, well, that was just getting started. I mean, it happened almost right away. Stories started to pop up. People began reporting these miraculous healings and events, and they were convinced it was her, helping them from the other side. And what's really amazing is where these first stories came from. A lot of the initial reports of miracles were from the children at the convent school where she had actually taught. The very students she had cared for were the first ones to carry her legacy forward. So the journey from Anna, the lonely little girl, to St. Alphonsa, the inspiration for miracles, is pretty extraordinary. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What is it about one person's profound faith and their quiet suffering that can create a legacy so powerful it seems to transcend life itself?